Caleb Love. This 5-star recruit was just recently named a McDonald's All-American. But where did this guy come from? And today, I'm just here to explain to y'all his story. This 6'3", 180-pound point guard is from no other than St. Louis, Missouri. And ever since this kid has picked up a basketball, he has always been one of the top players. So, unlike my other stories, it's not the same for this kid. He has always been at the top. However, even being at the top, it sometimes gives you problems. And for Caleb, he actually experienced a pretty big problem. When he was growing up, his dream school his entire life was Duke. But his dad's favorite team was North Carolina, and you guys know that is definitely a problem. And this problem between him and his father actually began a long time ago. So let's throw it all the way back to the year of 2005. Remember how I told you his hometown was St. Louis? Well, ironically, in 2005, St. Louis hosted the Final Four. And that is the same year North Carolina advanced to the title game. So Caleb and his father went to the game, and Caleb was born in 2001, so he probably doesn't remember too much of this. So I think it's fair to say his father's been trying to persuade him to go to North Carolina ever since he was born. As Caleb was growing up though, he just always saw himself playing for Duke. And in an interview, his dad even goes on to say Caleb's dream school was Duke. And there's really nothing too crazy behind this reasoning. He grew up in a North Carolina household, but he just always loved the Blue Devils. And Caleb and his father both thought he was gonna go there. His dad also said this in the interview. And Coach K came here. We thought it was going to happen. And then it didn't happen. So how didn't it happen, and why didn't it? Let's get into that reason. His father was actually asked this same question, and he only said 2 words: Jeremy Roach. Jeremy is a point guard as well, and before Caleb committed to Duke, he actually committed to Duke. But at the same time, Duke was still recruiting Caleb very hard, and they made it clear to him that he was still going to be a point guard. But Jeremy is a true point guard, and Caleb, going into the next level, he wants to be a true point guard as well. And Caleb's father even says he can play off the ball, but we just knew it wasn't going to work. Caleb Love can actually play off the ball, but with being a true point guard, it's not going to work with 2 point guards on the same team. Anyone that really knows basketball or watches basketball, you know that having 2 4 or 5-star recruits playing point guard, it just really wouldn't work out. So when that point guard committed to Duke, that was when Caleb Love started looking at his other options. And of course, with being in a North Carolina household, you already know that had a big influence on his decision. And quite frankly, it wasn't too hard of a decision because he wanted to go to a powerhouse program and be the main guy. And with North Carolina really struggling this year, it makes complete sense, and it really seems like a perfect fit. And Caleb just really fell in love with the school and the campus. In an interview, he went on to say this: I literally loved everything about the visit. The coaches showed nothing but love to me. The team showed nothing but love to me, and the culture there is outstanding. And obviously, this is really just a perfect fit for him, especially with Cole Anthony leaving after this year. It really seems like Caleb Love, as soon as he gets there, he's going to be the main guy and the starting point guard. Another pretty big influence on his decision to go to North Carolina was Kobe White. Caleb goes on to say this about his talk with Kobe White. I talked to Kobe after I went on my visit, and he just told me that coming to North Carolina was one of the best decisions he ever made in his life. He told me that Coach Williams was going to push me to become the best possible player I can be. And basically, long story short, all he said was after he talked to Kobe White was that he was sold. Caleb Love is currently a 5-star recruit and one of the best players in the country. I mean, you guys definitely know they just don't label every person as a McDonald's All-American. You have to be really special to get that honor. And arguably, this guy is probably one of the more slept on players going into next year. And like I've said a lot, just the situation he's going into with North Carolina, I think it could be a realistic thing if he's a one and done. But of course, like everything, we would just have to wait and see, and hey, only time will tell. So, can Caleb Love continue to live up to his hype and expectations at North Carolina and maybe even be a one and done? Or is he gonna fold under the pressure? But hey man, with all of this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you are new to the channel, what are you doing, man? Hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace. Oh yeah, and one more thing before I head out. I actually made this video because I saw a ton of comments about it. So I do read y'all's comments. If you want a player, you know, for me to do in a future video, just comment it down below. And if you see a comment about a player you want to, you know, see me do, like that comment. All right, I'm out, y'all. Peace.